Hello and welcome everybody to another episode on the HighLevel Experience Podcast. Our guest today is a renowned tech investor and empire builder with a passion for transforming ideas into successful ventures. With over 14 years of experience, he has mastered the art of leveraging technology, teams, and media to scale businesses to new heights. What's particularly interesting is his role as a co-founder of HighLevel Suite, an AI-powered lead generation tool that's empowering over 1,400 digital marketing agencies to create recurring income streams. Please welcome to the show, Johann Nogueira.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great
I'm
to have you here,
excited to be
mate.
here.
Very excited to have you.
Pleasure.
What's latest? What's been happening in your world? I know we've talked in Dallas back in November. It's been a while. I haven't talked to you for a while. What's been happening?
Yeah. Well, I just got back from 2 months trekking across Spain, so that was awesome. So me and my dad turned 70 on the walk. It's been on his bucket list for a long time. 2 years ago, I said, hey, rain, hail, or sunshine, I'll be there. And so my business partner, I said, hey, I gotta go. I can't not do this thing. And dude, the business grew without me. And I came back going, wow, that's pretty freaking awesome. And then when I came back, Walt had upgraded absolutely everything. And so he was showing me all this stuff. I'm like, dude, he's just taking it to the next level. So been traveling, the business is growing, business partner's freaking amazing, wife's good, kids are good. I got my board games in the background. What more could you want?
Hey, there's some kick-ass board games right there, yeah. Well, tell me about this trip. And I've been following you on social a little bit, looking at your posts as you were walking, you did. You went into Portugal or Spain, the Santiago de Compostela.
So
was that the famous trek?
That is that one. So the Camino de Santiago.
Yep.
To Santiago de Compostela, and it started in France, and then from France you walk across the Pyrenees all the way to Santiago. It was 800 kilometers. My wife said I was absolutely crazy because she called me up. She's like, you can do that entire trip in 7 hours by car. I said, yeah, but it's actually, this trip taught me it is definitely not about the destination. It's about the journey. And that journey every day we had to wake up and we had a mountain in front of us. And it's just like life. It's just like business. You wake up, and there's this big mountain that you got to climb. And by the end of every day, we were exhausted. We were tired. We were burnt out. But then when we get there to the top of the mountain and you look over and you go, wow, look what I achieved. And you never forget to look back and go, man, we came so far, right? And that's every day. So we did that every day for 41 days. And it's just incredible how much you can achieve in 41 days when you're doing it consistently. So yeah, man. And another thing, being on top of the mountains, all your problems seem so insignificant. There was stuff that I had in my head when I was walking up there. I was like, oh man, I'm worried about this, worried about that. By the time I got back, I'm like, that's not even a little peanut to worry about anymore. So it was rejuvenating. The people, by the way, who can take off 2 months to just go walk about, right? Yeah. Every person that I met on this trip was either a business owner or retired. And so it was like being in a mastermind for 41 days. 41 days of just like high-level business acumen, people who have achieved. Again, I put up a post on Facebook going, man, I feel so insignificant because of all these other people. And that's not a derogatory thing. It's just like, wow, dude, you are thinking so small when there are people out there doing such big, great things. And hey, go play, right? And go play with the Eagles. So anyway. So a couple of the people, one of the ladies that I met, she's like 3 down from one of the biggest companies in the world, and her department does 450 billion in transactions per month.
Holy shit!
So when I say think big, like I couldn't even comprehend that number. 450 billion per month blew me away. I had to think about that for a long time, and so hence the feeling insignificant thing.
So this trip is incredible. I know a little bit about it. Walking from France all the way to Santiago de Compostela, or did you walk all the way to Santiago de Compostela? You did. Yeah, that's the destination, right? That's the whole purpose.
That's the whole purpose.
Right. So my dad did this trip 2 years ago by himself, and he didn't go all the way from, I guess, different routes, right? But yeah, he said the same thing. It's just like awakening, where you just by yourself, just walking days on end, and you just don't distract yourself with technology, none of it. You just walk. You've got a path ahead of you, and you just walk along the coastline, along these amazing, nature places, beautiful nature places. It really does give you a new perspective, doesn't it? You're talking about climbing up the hill, and like the analogy of how you felt insignificant, how
Yep.
like the little things are like mean nothing. So I haven't done a trip like that myself yet, but it's definitely on my card as well. But whenever I do walk, up in the up in the nature with my family on the weekends, it is like therapeutic, 100%. So I highly recommend it for those of you guys listening. By the way, what we're talking about here is this. I think it's a religious. It started off as a religious thing, but
It
now
it, it
people.
it it is a religious thing, and 9 out of 10 people that I asked why are you doing this, it wasn't a religious thing. They were doing it just to get a break from their lives, get a to break the cycle of where they were, and to get different epiphanies. And every person had a different story about why they were doing it. But 9 out of 10, it was not religious.
Yeah. So now that you've done it, 41 days, you must have been walking like 20, 30 k's a day, I assume. Long trip, long days.
Yep.
What's the like? How do you like? Has your mindset shifted significantly, or what has
Ma-
changed?
Massively. So, you know, uh, I've actually had 6 months off from the business, and the business has just been running and growing, which is freaking awesome, right? And it comes down to having the right team, having the right systems, leadership, all that kind of stuff. And so now we are going to our 5-year plan. We're going to accelerate it and finish it in 3 years. That's that's the realizations we got, you know. And today we sat down, we had our meeting, and it's like, man, we can achieve this. Why are we going to wait 5 years? We can achieve it in 3 years. In fact, we can probably achieve it in 2 years. But we gave ourselves a year buffer just in case, because life happens and some other stuff can come up. But yeah, it's gonna be an epic 2 years. And while I was on the walk, all I could think about is the stuff we're gonna achieve in the next 2 years. So
I
yeah.
mean, whatever that is, I know you guys always deliver. You've got amazing platform, you've got an amazing product. But I wonder, what's changed? How when initially you were planning 5 years and now you're saying you could actually do it sooner? What's changed? What's changed to make you think that you could do
Co-
it now?
compressing time. So the plans that we had in place, they were linear, but we don't need to be linear. We need to be exponential. And I know it sounds vague, right? But basically, let's say I wanted to acquire 5,000 clients, right? Or 10,000 clients, whatever the number is. We had a pathway to go, okay, cool, let's onboard, 500 a month and all this kind of stuff for 10 months, and then there's churn and all this other stuff, build systems, build team. But hey, we realized there's people out there who already have everybody that we need, and we just need to connect with them. And 2, 3, 5 meetings later, we will have every user that we want. And so now we can grow the company at a much faster rate.
Mm-hmm.
The even the target audience, which target audiences are we going for? How can we accelerate that? What price points are we going for? How can we change that to add more value, make it more sticky? Create the upsell, downsell, cross sell, all of those things to create an ecosystem. How do you create a moat around your business? AI is here. Every business, every software business is going to be obsolete in 18 months. How are we going to combat that, right?
Yeah.
It is the best time to be alive right now. We've never had technology like we do at our fingertips. Speaking of that, I went for a walk yesterday, and I started, usually I'm on the walk, and I go for a walk with my puppy every day, and I'm talking on the phone. I leverage and make use of every moment that I have. So I'm usually talking to somebody about something. And then I went, hang on, I don't want to talk to just anybody. I want to talk to the smartest thing in the world. So I turned on my chat GPT, had it on voice mode while I'm walking. And I walked for 45 minutes. And I was talking to it, and I said, hey, here's where my company's at. I want to take it to 100 million. And I gave it a whole download of where my company's at. And the goal, I said, is for you to show me how to take it to 100 million. Give me strategies, show me pathways, walk me down, And by the time I was done, like I walked 45 minutes, I go back to my house. I had to go for another walk for another 45 minutes because it was just unbelievable. The pathways that it took me down, things that I had not thought of before. By the time I came back, I had the ad campaigns done. I had the landing pages done. I had the email campaigns done. I had the video scripts done. I had the team KPIs done. Like, you name it. We had, the org chart built out at different time pieces of the timeline, everything. It was like having a consultation with, 10 different board members. And by the time I came back, everything's fully transcribed. I sent that to my EA. My EA put it into a document, broke it down into a plan. That's now gone to the team, and the team is now actioning that. So an hour and a half has now accelerated a pathway even quicker.
It's ridiculous, right?
And
it's
we all have access to this technology.
We all have access.
And we have had access for the last 2 years. Another thing I think about.
Longer. I've been using Jasper like for 3.5 years ago when it was like on the market, Jasper, and nobody knew about this. I had a client paying me for content creation, and I was using Jasper back then. It's incredible what's available. What is also incredible is how still so many businesses are like not embracing it. I feel like it hasn't, like the proper bubble hasn't like fully burst. Like people haven't properly woken up yet. They haven't really realized like
there's an adoption curve of technology. You and I, we grab onto this as soon as it's 2 weeks old, and we're on it, right? Because this is the place where we live. I'm a member of a syndicate where pretty much every business there is doing over 200 million, and we had a speaker come in to talk about AI. And when the speaker came in, all of them were like, "Oh my God, we need to get into AI. We haven't been using AI. How are we going to do it? We're 2 years behind. Our competitors are getting onto it." And then, this guy, the speaker, is really excited because he's a consulting firm. And so he's going to get a lot of business from that. And so after he left, they're looking at me going, "So how are you using AI?" I said, "Well, let me show you." Turned on ChatGPT, turned on the voice activation, put it on the table, and I had a discussion with it in front of everybody and asked it the most articulate questions that I knew that were pressing questions for them in their businesses. And it had answers. And I said, right now, you don't need to know code. The biggest coding language in the world is now English. So if you can speak English, you can now code. You can ask it to code you anything. And you can take it down different pathways, and you can feed it data. You can feed it PDFs. There's now image recognition, right? I saw a demo of a guy who picked up a book, and he goes, "Go to page 162. Tell me about page 162. And ChatGPT told him everything about page 162 in literally 3 seconds. He had it up there.
Yeah, it's incredible. Again. So my mate, he's a barber. We did that similar thing, right? He gave me a haircut, and then I took the ChatGPT, the voice app, and I haven't used the camera for it, so I'm like, let me give it a shot. So I pointed a camera at me, and I said, "Hey, what do you think about this haircut? Like, give me, like a bit of a review, of it." And it was like, "Yeah, there's a good fading. I think you've got a good fading. I think your friend," I gave her the name of my friend, the barbershop name, everything. "I think your friend name barbershop. I think he did a really good job. You got some fading here. I think it looks good." Blah, 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 blah. And my friend, he never heard of this, right? He was just standing there next to me. His jaw just dropped. And he just turned into a statue. Like, he didn't move. Like, he's like, "Bro, I thought I'm going to have to slap him to wake him up," because he was like, he could not understand what's happening. He's like, first, he was like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm like, "No one." "What do you mean no one?" "Oh, it's just an AI." And that's when it happened. He just went like, it's incredible.
Yep.
So, big plans, next 3 years, incredible. Now, speaking of these plans, are you talking about like your agency database, or are you guys still running Comet Suite as well? Or is that Comet Suite?
No. Now it's all white label suite. Everything is white label suite.
So what happened to your old agency or your SaaS?
We have Comet. Well, we moved everybody into their own SaaS. So we told everybody we're going to set them up with their own white label business. We set them up with all their systems. We handed the keys over to them, and we turned them into white label suite clients.
Nice. So everybody's got their own GHL license. Right?
Everyone's got
And
their own GHL license. They've got their own systems. They have their own destiny in their hands, and they use White Label Suite to generate all of their leads.
nice.
The
So
reason for
then
that is
yeah, tell me. Yeah,
we're
interesting.
we're now completely a SaaS platform. We sell one thing. Our support is for one thing. Before, 90% of our support, 90% of our support requests every day was all GHL based.
Mhm.
Hey, I don't know how to trigger automations. Hey, can you help me set up a campaign? Hey, can you help me do all this stuff? It's not where we thrive. It's not what we do. That's agency stuff. And
Mhm.
we no longer wanted to do the agency stuff anymore. We purely want to be a SaaS that's selling a software as a service. And that's all we want to do. And all of our clients know that. And yeah, so that's our model.
Well, your software is incredible. You know the way it works. It's so intuitive. But you know, I'm feeling like there's somebody listening out there right now, and they're like, "What are you guys talking about? Like, what is this thing?"
Yeah.
Can you give it like a quick elevator pitch for those
I'll,
that don't know about what you guys
yeah.
do?
I'll tell you about how it happened 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, Walt and I got together, and he interviewed me on a podcast 6 years ago, and then 3 years ago, he kept chasing me every couple of months, going, "Hey, can we do something together? Can we do something together?" And then I was in his town, so I called him up and, well, actually, I Facebook messaged him. I said, "Hey, I'm in town. Do you want to have breakfast?" So he's like, "Yeah, sure. What time?" I said, 6. He goes, "Sure, I'll be there." So we catch up at 6 in the morning. And I go, "So what are you up to, man? Tell me about everything." And he goes, "I've got this business, this business, this, 7 different businesses, 7 different brands, 7 different databases." I was like, "Man, that's crazy." The software that you're telling me about, if it exists, if it works, it's absolutely incredible. And so I said, "You need to bundle all that up into one software and sell it as one offer." And he did that. And 2 weeks later, he called me up. He goes, "I did what you said. It worked absolutely incredible. Do you want to come be my business partner?" And I said, "Maybe, we'll see." And then he showed me the software. And as soon as he showed it to me, I just went, "Yep, I'm in." And so I go, "Dude, I'm going to work with you for the next 6 months. I'm going to show you how I can help the business. And if at the end of that 6 months you're happy, let's become business partners." And so that's how Comet Suite was created. Comet Suite was our agency, as you just mentioned. From Comet Suite, we evolved into White Label Suite because everybody just wanted the leads tool. The leads tool now, today, like Walt showed me all the upgrades, and I asked you if you've gone in and checked out all the upgrades. Dude, it
Yeah.
is mind-blowing. You can go in there. So for anyone listening who doesn't know what White Label Suite is, you can go in there and you can tell it, "I'm looking for CEOs in Miami who drive BMWs, who invest in property." It's going to go find all those people. It's going to find all their socials. It's going to find all the details that we can. And it's going to then trigger automation to start interacting with them. It's going to start talking to them. They're going to think that you are personally emailing them. There's tons of AI built in there. We're going to have, it knows so much about them. It's absolutely crazy because you feel, you don't know that it's not a human that's emailing you, right?
Yeah.
And so you're like, "Oh yeah, hey, cool, you checked me out, awesome, yeah, let's do this." And that's how people book into their calendars and book up their appointments. You see all these guys on, Instagram and Facebook saying, "I'll get you 30 appointments a month guaranteed." To a normal business, 30 appointments cost them, on average, $100, $200 per appointment to get them in front of these people. Here, we're connecting with that ideal client of theirs using the software and asking them, making them an irresistible offer, and all that training's in the training, obviously.
100%.
Making them an
Yeah.
irresistible offer, and then getting them to book in with you. And it is so simple. At the GHL conference where we caught up in Dallas, I was standing there at the booth, and this lady comes and she picks me up from the back and lifts me up, and she's like, I love y'all." And I'm like, "Please put me down." And she's like, "Thanks to your system, we're now doing $100,000 a month." I'm like, "Holy shit." And I'm like, "All right, cool. How are you doing that?" And so she's doing Johann Nogueira's training. Johann Nogueira is
Yep.
sales training. And
He's a
so
legend.
she's buying our system. And I love this. She's buying our system from us at $150 a month. And she's selling it for $5,000, white labeled under her brand.
Nice.
Insane, right? Exactly the same thing. There's nothing different. And yeah.
Wow. I mean, that tells you something, right? That tells you that there is an opportunity to make big money. If somebody still thinks that you have to sell high level for $30 per pop, you're wrong. the opportunity is
The,
there,
the,
and
the,
I mean, you
the,
mentioned
the,
John Logger. He's
is a
absolute
machine.
legend at selling high
Yeah.
ticket, right?
Yep. Yep. The one thing commodity that every business needs is leads. They will never turn you down. If you say I can get you more leads into your business, they go, tell me how. Show me how. Tell me how. And then literally our demos are now 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, our guys are making closes. Because one of my favorite ones, I'm on the phone with this guy, and he goes, hey, so he's from Trinidad and Tobago. He goes, so man, tell me where you... I butchered that accent, but anyway, forgive me, whoever's from that area. But he goes, so tell me about the software. I said, well, what do you sell? He goes, I sell cybersecurity to banks. I was like, okay, cool. How many clients you got right now? And he's like, 8. I'm like, all right, cool. So let's go in. Where are the banks that you service, the people? He goes, in Trinidad and Tobago. Who do you want to connect with? The CEOs who and they're looking for cybersecurity. So we went in there, CEOs, banks, cybersecurity. Here's a list of 20 CEOs of banks with cybersecurity. And then he's like, oh my God, that one's my client. That one's my client. That one's my client. I'm like, yeah, you got 3 out of 20. How would you like the other 17? He's like, bro, sign me up. Let's go. 10-minute close.
Nice. Now I've got a technical question, and I was always wondered how that works. Because the main mechanism is it helps you generate leads, helps you generate contacts out of a real-time database, because you guys get the data from Google and all the big
Live.
ones, so it's
Yep.
always
Yep.
fresh, as
Yep.
opposed to other platforms that kind of give you like outdated results. And then with AI now that can use that data to help you create and curate these outreach messages, it's a whole other level. But ultimately, you then need a way to send those messages. And from my understanding, that's not done on WLS. That's done separately, right?
That's through GHL.
Now, speaking of cold emailing, how do you go about limits? Because I know, we both know that per email account, there's requirements how you do it properly, and
There's a whole course on that in the members area. Have you done it?
I've done it, yeah, but I'm like, I ended up going with instantly, because I'm like, I'm not gonna do it through GHL, because like it's just like too, I don't know. I wanted to be able to send like a lot of emails and set up the foundation, so I ended up going that route. Kristen Rushman,
So,
she recommended that too, but
yeah.
I guess for
So,
smaller numbers maybe it's okay.
so here's the thing. There's people out there who want to send 1,000 emails a day. That's not our methodology. Our methodology is the Dream 100 methodology. It's, hey, Vit, I know who you are. I think you're amazing. I know we can do business. Here's why. Let's connect. 10, 20 emails a day of real emails, real people that you want to connect with. I'm not talking about spamming 1,000 people. Like that. Look, it works. People have done it. People do get results with it. But that's not our
Right.
methodology. Our methodology is a Dream 100. I'm telling you to send 20 emails per day. From those 20 emails, in 2 weeks, you're going to start getting people replying to you and booking in for meetings. And after 3 weeks, you've got no time for doing anything else, because your Dream 100's working. It's connecting with people. They're replying back. They're trying to have meetings with you. And your calendar's full. Now, we do have a guy who's got 400 people on the call center, and he's one of our biggest clients. So he needs a lot of credits, and he does need to send out a lot of emails and stuff, because he is reselling all those leads to a lot of different businesses. But for the average business owner, most people, they're on the 1,000 leads per month plan. They don't even use 1,000 leads because they can't.
You know what? Now that I think of it, I feel stupid, because I really need to do a bit more. I need to spend a bit more time in the learning portal, because it looks like I've missed some important lessons there. But obviously, the thing that strikes in my mind right away is why this works. So you're saying smaller numbers, 20 emails a day, and you still getting replies. And then from what I know about cold email, it's typically like a small percentage. You got to send a big number to get. But really, the reason why this works is because the messaging is so much more personalized.
It's all about the messaging. It's all about the real connection, the real human connection, the real, you're looking them up. Like with our tool, you can find them all, but then you look through, and like I will look through and I will DM the person on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and be like, bro, I saw that you went to Malaga. Amazing. I've been there. And then they'll just hit me back up. Like, that's the... when people talk about cold email, they're talking about spamming, right?
Yeah.
They're talking about sending
Unsolicited
out
email.
1,000.
Well, if it's B2B, it's kind of, as long as you do it in a right
But
way,
but
it's still
but
spamming, but yeah.
but I'm saying in their minds, right? They're cold email. I'm going to send out 1,000. I hope to get 3 replies. That's spamming people. Ours
Yeah.
is use the tool, research the people, understand who they are, understand you can help them, then reach out and have everything set up. Have all the pre-made templates and everything. Press a few buttons and boom, it goes. Because you can't have that many offers that you're going to be targeting. If you're a business coach, hey,
Mm.
Vit, I'm a business coach. You have a business. Here's the 3 problems that I see every business has: leads, profit, churn, for example. Any of those, can I help you with any of those? Here's a 2-minute video on how I have 7 methodologies that work. You're like, 1, your brain goes, who the F is this guy? 7 methodologies in 2 minutes. Curiosity. He's identified my 3 biggest problems. I'll give him 2 minutes. You watch, and by the time you watch the 2 minutes, you're like, oh man, damn it, he hit it. Because I'm only doing one of those 7 things. And then the button says, click here to watch the next video because I've explained each one of those things. And by the time you watch all those little videos, little 2-minute, 3-minute, 5-minute videos, you've actually watched a 45-minute webinar that's broken down into little chunks because all of our brains are now, like little goldfish. And social media's turned us that way. But you've served them a 45-minute webinar in little chunks. By the time they watch all that, guess what? They know, like, and trust you. They've been through your funnel. And then the button that's on every page is book a meeting, book a meeting, book a meeting. But they've watched 10 videos, right? Book a meeting. You've built a relationship with a person that you know you can help, that they now know you can help them, and they're going to reply back to you.
I love it. I definitely need to go back to the drawing board then. I mean, I've done cold email through Instantly and it's worked for me, but it was the bigger numbers.
Yeah,
so I had to go
let's dig into that. So you went through Instantly. How many emails did you send out?
I had a list of, so my niche is martial art clubs because I come from a fitness background, and I wanted to just focus on this niche because I personally love martial arts. I've been training in different clubs back in Canberra. I love the community feel of martial artists that are a whole another really good people typically in a good martial arts club. And I just wanted to help them because, I like the type of business. So what I did is I scraped a list of, first, for the US market, I did it through a strategic partner. So I didn't have to do any outreach. It was done through a strategic partner. But we decided to do the same webinar that we did for Australia. We decided to do it for US market. So I scraped all the clubs using HighLevel Suite. And then I created a campaign. Well, I sign up with resellers of Google Workspace resellers, mostly in India, because you can get like for $3 per user as opposed to paying $6. It adds up.
Mm-hmm.
Bought 15 different domains with different variable of the same sounding name, right? That's kind of the strategy, how you do it, right? For those of you guys who don't know about cold email, that's how you do it. So 15 domains. For each domain, you link it up to a new Google Workspace account. And then per each domain, you should set up to 3 users maximum, 3 separate email accounts on that same particular domain, right? So that's how I did it. I went through to the resellers who set up all the users, all the Google Workspaces for me. I paid them $5 per each email address to set up, so $3 per month plus $5 for a setup. So that was my setup, and then I loaded it all up into there's a lot more to it, technical setup, DKIM, and all the records and blah blah blah. But then set up an Instantly account, and then I linked up all the accounts into my Instantly, and then Instantly then starts to warm up these accounts, right? And then I waited a month, 2. I'm a bit slow. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so takes
Yeah.
And then anyway, I then ended up having an ability. Right now, I've got an ability with 45 accounts where I can send, up to 50 emails per day, but I keep it on a lower end, like 20 emails per day per account. So that's 950 emails per day, still about, and if I only send Monday to Friday, I don't send on the weekends, right? So that's still about 20,000 emails a month. There's not
to
that
get to get back how many replies?
Well, believe it or not, there's not that many martial art clubs, so I only got like 1,500. on the list, or 2,000, and I got about, well, I like the goal was to get people to sign up for the webinar, right? So there would have been about 10 positive replies. Out of the 10, 5 actually said they will commit to show up. From the 5, only 3 actually showed up, and so that was the result. Obviously,
And how many did you close?
well, for the US market, 0. So
Yeah.
that was the result
So-
there.
So let's just wind those numbers back. 1,500 emails in your database. You send an invite to all of them. What did you say? 10 showed up? 5 showed up?
5. No,
5
3
showed up.
showed up. 5 was supposed
Three-
to. 5
5
were
was supposed
registered.
to 3.
3 showed up. Yeah.
So that's, and because like straight away the offer is tied, done. They know they're coming to a webinar which is gonna make them buy something, right? And they don't have time, and they're martial arts people who they just
Busy.
love being out. They love doing stuff. They're
Yeah.
physical people. They're not, if they could press a button and press play and watch
Yeah.
2 minutes of you going, hey, I'm Vit. I help martial arts, I help martial arts studios get more clients, retain them, and sell higher ticket packages. Check it out. On the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how we do that. You got their attention. On the next video, you talk about how you target the right people. And I'm just going to say, and, we can talk through the entire process, and I can show you exactly what it is. And you don't have to send out, 950 emails a day or anything like that. It's much easier. I'm going to give you an example of one of my friends. So one of my friends came to me, and he's like, dude, man, he's a music teacher. I was like, dude, what's your dream? He's like, I would love to one day see $1 million in my bank account, but it's not possible. I was like, well, that's a pretty negative way to think. Like, what do you mean it's not possible? Of course it's possible. Anything's possible. Like, I don't believe in anything. I don't believe that anything's not possible, right? If you can envision it, you can make it happen. If you have a pathway to get there. So he goes, I'm a music teacher. I teach 10, 15, 20 kids, and I get paid for that, but I'm at a certain capacity. I can't make more than a certain amount per year because I'm selling my time for money. I went, yeah, great. There you go. You've identified the problem. So what do you love doing? Teaching students. What's your legacy you want to build? What's something you want to build? He goes, I want to build my music. Yeah, he teaches guitar. He's got teachers who teach singing, drums, and other instruments and stuff like that. And right now, I said, how do you get your business? He goes, word of mouth. People talking, parents talking. I go, okay, cool. Let's use white label suite. Let's email. Oh, COVID happened. So COVID happened. His business pretty much shut down. He's not vaccinated. He has medical issues, so he couldn't do that. And so he couldn't go into the schools. So his business literally shut down. He could not do anything. And so he's like, man, I'm in strife. And so he used white label suite and contacted the schools and said, hey, kids are at home. Kids need simulation. We've got teachers who are in the area who can then, give them music lessons. And so the emails are going to all the principals of all the schools. And the email says, we increase the child's confidence. We increase the child's clarity, focus, discipline. And I forget the fifth one.
Right.
But anyway,
Selling the outcome, not the tool.
Telling the outcome. And if you want us to help you raise your school's, the grades of all the kids, because the smarter the kids, the higher the grade, the school's, the scores and things like that. Put this in your newsletter, and there was a thing attached, and put this in there's a blurb, which they can put on their website, and here's a free coupon for 2 weeks of free lessons, which they could send out to all of the parents.
Yeah.
Now, all the parents are getting those things, and they're like, yeah, I want my kids' clarity, confidence, focus, all of that to increase. They're sending them to him. What happens to him? By the way, now he's got teachers who are teaching.
Yeah.
He goes, oh man, I'm at capacity. I need to expand. So then we go into white label suite and we type in, let's find out all the musicians. Then we find all the musicians, and the offer to them is, hey, I'm overloaded with students. I can't handle anymore. Would you like to come work for me? And, I'll pay you handsomely. And they're like, yeah, I need some extra work. So now they're all coming working under his brand. So now we've got an acquisition system where we target the principals of the schools in one area. We then target the music teachers in that area. The principals become the distribution. They get the students. The students come to the teachers. He's just got a portal, his GHL, right? Branded as his. under his, under his license, under his branding, under his school. And so then they come in, all the music teachers have to go through his training. So now they go through his training. They watch all the modules. They're learning about how to talk to the clients the way he does. He's actually giving them business education. So they're going through there, the principal sending all the invoicing, everything's done. So he's got an entire business in a box, right? So that's the system. Now that system is running in multiple parts in Australia. Now he has a very scalable business. Now his next step, he hasn't done this yet, but his next step is to license that system to the teachers.
Franchise.
To license it to the teachers, $1,000 a year. He gives them their website, he gives them their training, he gives them their acquisition system, he gives them white label suite branded as his, so that they can reach out to the principals and stuff like that, right? He's giving them an entire business in a box for $1,000. Now, his new goal is 1,000 teachers in Australia, music teachers, running his system. Is that an easy goal to achieve? Hell yeah.
Wow. That's $1 million
a year to do what he's done for the last, 20-something years, and now he's just systemized it all.
Shows you the power of the tool. That's incredible. Yeah. It makes me feel stupid.
Well, it's not meant to. It's
No, I know.
There are so many success stories, and people get in their own way. People get in their own way, and they complicate things because things cannot be simple, right? We're humans. We want to make things complicated. How do I lose weight? I'm going to go on this pill. I'm going to go on this diet. I'm going to do... Dude, just stop eating so much. Stop eating junk. Drink more water. Exercise. Nah, there's got to be a secret to 7-minute abs. We have to complicate things. It's just the way we are. When we offer white label suite to people, they're like, wait, in 3 seconds, I can have my everybody I need to contact for the rest of the year in front of me. Yes. What do I do with the data? Invite them to an event. Have a real life event. And people are doing that now. They're inviting them because the world's opened up again. COVID's finished. These are, war stories from COVID. Now people are inviting people to events, and events are happening. Hey, Vit, I know who you are. You're freaking amazing. I'd love to invite you to my exclusive event. I'm only inviting 20 agencies who are doing 7 or 8 figures. Would you like to join us? What do you think? You're like, hell yeah, I want to be in that room. It's an exclusive invitation. It is a cold email, but it's a cold email to a person who wants to be in that room. It's an irresistible offer. It's not going out to 1,000 people.
Let's talk about that event a little bit. I was going to segue to that, but you took away my thunder. So speaking of events,
I just made up an event, that you should be running because you need to get those 8-figure agencies into your freaking room. That was me, pinching you a little bit.
No, you made. So there is an event coming up, and I'm privileged to say that you invite me to speak at the event. So I'm very, very excited, and I started working my slides. But for those that are listening, let's break the news. What is the event? What is it called? When is it? Why should they attend?
Yeah, for sure. So look, I love bringing people together. A rising tide lifts all ships. We couldn't get to where we've got to without the people around us. People make businesses happen, skills, ideas. And so I think a couple of weeks ago, we decided, hey, we're going to run an event. We're going to invite the smartest people we know into a room. We're going to record it. We're going to talk. And then somebody said, why don't we do it live? And invite, not only the people, but invite people to come and participate and watch. And so now it's become a 3-day event. It was meant to be a 1-day event, but it turned into a 3-day event, 24th, 25th, 26th of July. We've got some incredible speakers because the more people we are talking to, they're like, hey, man, I'm landing government contracts now. Very significant amounts of stuff. He's going to be a speaker. Hey, I'm selling via DMs. I'm going to cut, would you like to come speak? Yes, I would. Hey, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm killing it on YouTube. Well, what happens if in 3 days, again, leveraging and time compressing, what happens if we get the smartest people, get them into a room for 3 days, and everybody's talking about their best, greatest ideas and the systems that they have built? You cannot leave. You cannot leave without getting new ideas, without getting smarter, without going, oh my God, one of the pennies is going to drop, right? One idea is going to be worth more than $1 million. And so if you're sitting there for eight 3 days of 8 hours of the smartest people who are building multi-million-dollar businesses. You got to pick up something. And so the event is called the High-Level Expert. It wasn't tailored for high level, by the way. It was just high-level expert. The high-level people.
Yeah.
High-level
Just
expert.
happens too.
Just so happens to, which is great. So, and every one of them runs high level. Hey, guess what? If you're a smart operator, you're running high level, right? So, High-Level Expert is the name of High-Level Expert is the name of the event. It's on the 24th, 25th, and 26th of this month, July. It's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. The ticket, you're going to get blown away by the ticket price. How much do you think it is, Mr. Vit?
Well, I know it, so
So guys, we made it very accessible. It's $1. $1 to come and listen to some of the smartest people on the planet. And if you don't have $1, I'm sorry, I don't think I can help you. But we couldn't make it any more cheaper, right? Put down your $1, come, watch, listen, learn, implement. And you're going to be surrounded by the most amazing people. Now, not only that, they're giving away so much free stuff. I said, hey, you're going to come speak? Give away some free stuff. Give away systems. Give away templates. Give away snapshots. Give away stuff that adds value to people. And so a lot of our speakers are doing that. So you're going to get massive bonuses and stuff. We're going to run 4 of these events every year. So this is the first one, and we're excited for it. And then
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to be on it as well, yeah. I wonder though, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I am preparing. Yeah. I wonder though, you support V1G1, which makes significant impacts globally. And we know that people who pay attention. But I wonder why just $1? Why wouldn't you make it like $10? Like that would be like a nice round number. What are you gonna do with $1? It's like
well, exactly. We could make it $10. We could make it $100. We could make it $1,000. It would still be worth it. $1 just for the sake of putting a price on the thing, and for somebody going, I'm going to take out my credit card and I'm going to put down $1. And by the way, if you put down your $1, no one's getting rich off that thing. It's your own commitment to yourself.
Yeah.
So that's the reason behind that.
I was just curious. That's all.
There was no pricing strategy. There was no secret sauce behind what's behind the $1. It's $1. So come get your ticket for $1. And you can come attend. And if you want the recordings, now that's going to cost you money. So if you want the recordings, if you can't show up, that's $197 to get access to the recordings. And there's all the bonuses and stuff that go with that. But hey, if you show up, you can watch the entire thing for $1. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a bargain, for 3 days, and you have, I think, about 30 speakers all up. You guys are gonna learn so much. Like if you couldn't go to high level, like to Level Up Summit, Dallas, right? I went, and that's where me and Johan hang out. It was freaking amazing. But that was more of an expensive trip for me anyway. But if you couldn't go because you couldn't afford it, well then this is your chance. This is as cheap as it gets to help you level up and raise the tide of the rest. Because I looked at the speaker list, and there are some big names. There's Desano from HL Pro Tools. I believe Ben is speaking from Extendly. You're there. Walt's
Man, we go Walt. We go Walt. Walt's the BFG.
Yeah. There's so many amazing people that are going to be speaking there. I'm going to be speaking there. I haven't done a speaking gig for a while, so I'm feel a bit rusty. So that's going to be fun.
It's all good.
And yeah, very, very excited for this event. So guys, if you want to come along, if you want to register, it's just $1. Just head over to HighLevelExperience.com, which is the podcast domain, /expert.
Fantastic.
And you can find out more about that. Now, Johan, your entrepreneurial journey started quite young. Can you share what your experiences at McDonald's and Hugo Boss taught you about business and sales?
What the? How did you? Was that ChatGPT?
Well, it was, but that doesn't change the question.
All right, cool. Well, I like the question. All right. So McDonald's, I started working in McDonald's in the age of 15. And when I came home one day, my dad said to me, hey, how many burgers did you make today? I said, well, I worked 3 hours. I made about 300 and something burgers. He goes, wow, and how much did you get paid for that? I got paid $5.26 an hour for that. And he goes, well, they got a good deal. I went, wow, yeah, they did. Anyway, I'm a bit slow. A couple of years later, I was at Hugo Boss. And so we were selling suits, and the suits at Hugo Boss are $2,000. And me and the other guys, I have a very competitive nature, so we used to compete. And so on average, I would sell about 10 suits a day. And then I came home one day, and my mom said to me, hey, how many suits you sell today? I said, no, I sold 10 today. I hit a great quota. I beat the other guys. She goes, oh, wow, cool. How much you get paid? And I got paid $150 to sell $20,000 of merchandise. I went, hang on a second. How do I become either the brand that people are selling or become the department store which pays people $150 to sell, make 20 grand worth of sale? Those are the two biggest lessons, systemization and sales.
And so then you obviously had a bit of a career shift. You shifted from studying genetically modified canola to becoming an entrepreneur. What motivated you this?
I love it. Great. ChatGPT is kicking ass today.
What motivated you to this drastic career change?
Yeah. So actually, I wanted to be a vet, and so I was studying to be a vet, and it just so happened that I put in the wrong course code because I had too much alcohol the night before, and instead of doing animal science, I got into agricultural science, and then we get our thing saying, "Hey, congratulations, you got into agricultural science," and I'm like, "What am I going to do with agricultural science? I wanted to be a vet." So I went to the university and said, can I change it? They go, hey, look, you can, but with agricultural science, you learn about plants and animals, and with veterinary science, you only learn about animals. Like, okay, cool. Let me do, I'll do agriculture, and if I want, I can switch after a year or two. That was their pitch to me. So I said, yeah, sure, I'll stick. Turns out, as soon as I see blood, I pass out. So we had experiments where I had to, do an operation and cut something open. As soon as I saw the blood, boom, I'd fall down on the ground. So I couldn't be a vet. And then I was working on all the farms over here in Australia, and I realized I have really bad hay fever. So if I'm outside, I get a bad reaction to the hay. Like my eyes start watering, my nose starts, becoming all runny and stuff like that. So I went, okay. And during this time, I found out that I could make money online. So this is 2004. I found out that I could buy something off a website, never touch the stuff, put it straight on eBay, and eBay would sell it, and then I get it shipped from one website to the other. Actually, you lived in Australia, so you'll know this. This is my early ventures into eBay. I would go to the Officeworks website, which is the equivalent of in America, I don't know, Walmart or something.
Staples?
I'd go, Staples, yeah. And so I'd go to their website every morning, and I'd look up all their hard drives, right? And I'd put it on eBay at $20 or $30 more. And every day I would sell 10 units on average.
No way.
And the next day I'd just wake up and go, Marker's gift, Marker's gift, Marker's gift. And these things would get delivered. And I'd make $300 a day in profit from my little eBay listings for doing nothing, for doing 10 minutes of work. And I was like, oh, shit, this making money online thing actually works. And then from there I got into gold and diamonds. And then before you knew it, I had a bag full of, about $200,000 worth of gold and diamonds that I used to carry around. Everybody thought I was a drug dealer. It was just arbitrage, right? Buy low, sell high. I used to buy it off bidz.com. That website still exists. You can go and buy jewelry 90% off and sell it on eBay or, well, wherever you want. I used to buy it 90% off and sell it for 50% off. So I'd make a 40% profit. It's a pretty decent profit. I started off with $5,000. I ended up with $200,000 of jewelry in a bag. So, you can scale it pretty quickly. And then affiliate marketing came about, and I realized I didn't need to hold any stock. And I just had to drive people from Facebook. So 2007, Facebook came out. Drive people from Facebook to that website, bidz.com. And I'd make 15% commission. And my ad was very simple. In a relationship, think you're buying diamond rings, 90% off diamond rings. And people targeting men in relationships for 3 years. That was my targeting. They'd click. They'd go there. It would cost me 15 cents. They didn't have to buy a diamond ring. They'd buy the belts. They'd buy sunglasses. They'd buy jewelry, whatever they buy. On average, they'd spend $1,000. I'd make a $150 commission. I was turning 15 cents into $150. That's affiliate marketing for you.
Those were the golden days of Facebook advertising as well, right? It was so cheap back then.
It's always the golden days. You just got to know how to do it. Right now, the new golden days is TikTok, right? TikTok advertising, YouTube advertising is dirt cheap. It's the cheapest it's ever going to be. So, forget about Facebook, forget about LinkedIn. There's so many different advertising platforms.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's also podcasting. One of the secret little channels that I've been using, and I'm about to re-engage it. And this is another podcast I'm talking about, the Success Inspired podcast, because this podcast is for you guys in the high level community, right? For you guys to learn about products and services that we third party providers sell. But I have another podcast called Success Inspired, and I started that one during COVID. And the whole idea was like, I just need to get inspired. I just felt like I need to get back in business. Because back then I was employed through a gym, because there was a whole thing about, a pathway towards permanent residency in Australia. So you kind of have to get a sponsor. Anyway, long story short, I just was at that stage where I just need to do something again, and decided to just launch a podcast and interview successful people from around the world. And I did that. And then when I launched, when I started my high level, I went to all those people, and I already knew what they do, business coaches, and I knew what their shortcomings are because they told me, right? So in a way, it was like a podcast interview for 90 minutes. But really, I mean, who's going to tell you everything about them in 90 minutes if it's a sales call? Nobody, like people like have a guard up, right? But because it was an interview, they were passionate about sharing. You get to build amazing rapport, like what we're doing right now, building rapport, deepening relationship. And then all it takes is just at the end of the call, when you kill off the recording, you say, "Hey, Johan, one thing, you said this and that, did you know I actually do this? And would you be interested in jumping on the call either like right now or like next week, and we can just go over, show you a couple of things?" Nobody said no, because now we're like mates. We just finished having we're just hanging out, and so that is there's another channel for these guys if you're looking at how you can generate customers. It is more laborsome, but I guess
But
the good thing is that you generate the content as well at the same time.
so that is how Walt got me, because he got me on a podcast, and he said he uses the podcast to interview people to get all of their secrets, to get all their strategies. And it's a door opener. And then that'll open up more doors and more doors. And then people love podcast hosts, right? Because they're like, wow, you asked some insightful questions. How the hell did you know I worked at Hugo Boss and McDonald's? All that kind of stuff. Great. Well done on the research. So building rapport through that is awesome. Let me tell you about one strategy that works to this day, which I love. Just sitting up here, I have 4,000 chess pieces. I love direct mail. Direct mail is a little secret which nobody does anymore. And, when I used to do this for companies, they'd be like, "Isn't that from the 70s? I'm like, yeah. You can go and pay $5, $6, $10 to Facebook and for a click. Or we can send out this thing that's personalized to them, and we can get mad results. So I'll give you a quick little strategy. So Vit, you've been in Australia, so you can translate for the American audience. Actually, no, I'll translate it. Guys, picture a FedEx envelope. You get a FedEx envelope with your name handwritten on it, and you can feel like there's something inside the envelope. What do? You cannot resist opening that. You're like, it's a present. Christmas is here. You open it up, and when you open it up, there's a letter in there and a Post-it note, and the Post-it note says, "Your systems have gone the way of the dinosaurs," and there's a little dinosaur, little plastic dinosaur. Now, over here, we've got a shop called Kmart. I don't know the equivalent in America. But basically, you can buy 100 dinosaurs for $3. This is a very, very cheap campaign to run. Imagine you get that, right? Would you open that up? Yes. Would you laugh when you saw that dinosaur? Yes. And then the whole letter talks about how your systems have gone the way of the dinosaurs and that you're going to be extinct if you don't take action, blah, blah, blah. And it sends them to a URL to go watch a video, and that's the start of the funnel. But I don't even need you to start the funnel. I just need you to keep that dinosaur on your table, because it's going to remember and make you remember your systems are going the way of the dinosaurs. A week later, the people who didn't take action, they get one. And now, again, it's a FedEx envelope, your name handwritten on there, confidential stamped across it, and they can feel like there's something in there. They open it up, and there's a magnifying glass. And the magnifying glass says, read the fine print. And the fine print says, we guarantee to increase your profit by 20%. Go watch the freaking video, right? That's week 2. Week 3, you get dice. Same thing. Envelope, blah, blah, blah. Now they're excited. They're like, ooh, what am I going to get today? Dice. 2 dice, and it says, don't gamble with your business's future on the Post-it note. Now they're laughing. The 4th one, if they still haven't taken action, it's a postcard with dude with binoculars. saying, hey, Vit, where are you? Just let us know you're alive. We don't want to sell you anything. We just need to know you're okay because you haven't replied to our last 3 things. Let us know. Send us a text. Let us know you're okay. And we're never going to contact you ever again. What does that do? 1, what do you mean you're never going to contact me again? I want you to contact me. You're funny. And then when your sales team calls up and goes, hey, did you get my dinosaur? Did you get my dice? Did you get my magnifying glass? They're laughing. So we've built rapport. That entire system to set up to launch costs less than $20 per person that you want to target. Again, I cannot stress enough that you have to do the Dream 100. I'm not saying send it out to 10,000 businesses. I'm not even saying 1,000 businesses. I'm saying send it out to 100 businesses. 100 businesses times $20 is a $2,000 campaign. You'll burn through that on Facebook in a matter of a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
$2,000 to your Dream 100. They're going to laugh, and it goes for 4 weeks. A campaign that's running for 4 weeks. Have a great time. They're going to laugh. They're going to, and if you need help, go to ChatGPT and say, hey, write me a direct mail campaign targeting digital agencies, telling them that their systems are outdated. And this is what I want to do. And then repeat exactly what I just said, and it'll craft the entire campaign for you.
I love it. That's awesome. I do have a question though. What about the chess piece? You left it out.
Oh, the chess piece. Yes, that's yes, great. I send that and I say, I've made my move. Now it's yours.
Right. I love it. Right. So you would have a call to action written, a QR code or a URL or whatever.
On all of
on
them. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's genius.
Thank you.
And so
I
refreshing.
I got it from Dan Kennedy. It's from the 70s. Him and what's his name, Bill Glazer used to do this in the 70s. So it's nothing that I've invented. It's 50 years old. Still works.
I will definitely have a go at this because this is not. I mean, when you think about doing campaigns, I don't know about you, but sometimes it feels like a lot of work, right? Sometimes it feels like,
bro, I love doing campaigns. I get to have fun.
Me too, yeah. But like sometimes just like if you haven't seen success maybe for a while or whatever, and it stuff feels like a lot of work. But this sounds like fun, and so I'm definitely gonna have a crack at it. Now, Johan, we are towards we've just crossed an hour, so this brings up our 3 little segments that we do on this podcast, and the first one is called the beef. Now we all, as you said, all that are savvy and smart, we all use HighLevel. HighLevel is an amazing platform. For those of you guys listening, if you're an agency owner, if you stumbled upon this podcast and you do not know what's HighLevel, definitely head over to my website, vitmuller.com. You'll learn everything about it. It's an incredible platform and it's helping all of us to grow our businesses in incredible rate. It's a still-ish little hidden gem in the market, but I think not for very long. But anyway, we love this platform. It's amazing. It's an all-in-one sales and marketing tool that you use for your own agency, but you can also white label it and resell to your agency customers. So now no longer you have customers that pay you for fulfillment for services, but you can also upsell them to pay for your software. So even if they quit on the services, they continue paying for software. It's just many different business models. This is one of them. It's an amazing platform. We all use it. All of the guests that we've had on this podcast use it. It's incredible. But it is very, very, very fast evolving software. So you gotta be prepared because every week Sean will come in at you and drop a new amazing feature release and upgrade. And they're amazing. But as a very dynamic and lean company as they do it, there's always going to be some bugs. Right? Over time they get better, and so this is what this whole segment is about. It's just a nice way of saying, hey, we love you HighLevel, but there are a few things that are bugging us. Johan, what's your beef? Do you have a beef with one particular feature that's been bugging you lately?
No, not at all.
Nothing.
You know why? Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, Google Sheets, whatever the tools that you use, any tool. Look at your computer, look at your apps. Nobody uses more than 5% of any of those tools. Those tools are super powerful. Nobody uses more than 5%. I only use 5% of GHL. I don't need to know the 250 updates that happened this week. I know what it needs to do, and it does it well, and that's all that matters. So they can continue building awesome features and everything like that. I know what I need it to do. It does what it does, what it needs to do. I have no beef. It's a system that works. It's a system that runs.
I love it. I love it. Well, guys, if you have a beef with high level, and this is, again, if it's just something that's bugging you and you just want to give it a bit of a shed on the light of that thing, then you can submit it to our website, because what we do is we will drop a link. Now, we have a rule. If you have a beef, don't just be negative about it. Do something about it. There is an amazing website called ideas.gohighlevel.com where you can go and you can check out the roadmap. But you can also submit and you can vote. There's many different amazing upvotes of other agency owners submitting ideas for the high-level developers. And if you have an idea that hasn't been submitted yet, make a post. And then we can help you promote it so you can get more upvotes. And that's how this beef works. So go ahead and check it out. It's on vitmuller.com. Sorry, wrong website. It's the, let me just find it real quick. HighLevelExperience.com /the beef. There you go. Awesome. Right. Well, we're towards the end of it. Johan, I've got one more question for you. We have another segment called the Geek Out segment. Now, it's probably not the fit question for you, since you said you only use HighLevel about 5%. But is there a particular feature, particular release that you've noted recently that you kind of like really love that you geek out on?
That's not my specialty, man. I'm all strategy. Walt's the tech geek. He gets all that stuff done.
That's all good, mate.
You gotta get him on the show for all the tech stuff.
Yeah. Well, here's my gig, just so we don't keep this blank. I love the latest release, which allows you to have multiple chat widgets. That's been released about 2 weeks ago. And basically the option now you have is to have fully customized chat widget that you can put on one website, and then have another chat widget that you configure with different settings to put either on a different website or a different page or a different funnel, and then plug in your custom GPT, that particular chatbot. So if you got a sales page that's selling a particular product, you link it up with that particular chat widget, and Bob's your uncle. That's for those of you guys in Australia. If you're in the US, Bob's your uncle is just a thing we say. So that's the thing I geek out on. It's the latest thing that I've noticed, and I'm really excited about using that. As you can tell, I'm probably a bigger nerd than Johan. He's more on strategy, but nevertheless, we both are very passionate in business and entrepreneurship, and I think that's a good ending note to wrap this up. If you had to give one piece of advice, Johan, to somebody that's starting their agency and looking to implement high level, what would you say to them?
Focus on sales. Just sell, because there's so many people who are amazing at the tech that are there. They've been at HighLevel's been around for 5 years now. So there's literally tens of thousands of people who are fully trained on it, who know everything about it. Let them do the building. Let them do the configurations. Let them set it all up for you. It's not worth your time to do all that stuff. Go buy the pre-existing systems. Buy Vit's systems. You can't get better than his. We've looked at all the snapshot systems that are out there. He gives you a great pre-made system. It's going to save you so much time, energy, and money, and it's going to make you more money. So focus on sales. Let the people who've already spent 5 years doing this do what they do. And yeah, you do what you do best. Let them do what they do. You don't need to spend time geeking out on all the cool little shiny toys that are inside the software. It's not going to make you more money. It's not going to make you more wealthy.
Absolutely. I love it. And speaking of sales, guys, if you to be able to sell, you need people to be able to talk to. You need leads. And if you need leads, there's nothing better than White Label Suite. So head over to vitmuller.com /White Label Suite. We can find out more about this amazing software that Johan and Walt have put together, because I've been using it. I need to use more of it, by the way, as you've now got to realize. But nevertheless, it's an amazing platform, now powered with AI, outreach, custom, bespoke message for every single lead, unique. Conversion is going to go up. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Awesome, man.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you for being on. And thank you guys for listening as well. Thank you for listening to today's episode on the High Level Experience. If you've enjoyed today's episode, then please share it with your fellow agency mates and other high levelers that you think would also benefit from listening. For show notes, links, and extra tips to help you grow your agency or your SaaS with high level, please go to highlevelexperience.com. Thank you and have a great rest of your day, everybody.
You guys.
Boom.